The expectations for women is so high. And because the expectation for women is so high, the tolerance for women is also so low. You can't even be ugly. The wonderful, beautiful podcast. So I don't know if you can hear it, but my little niece is like screaming downstairs. She's a little baby and she's so cute, but she's like a quarantine baby, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but she literally does not trust anyone except her mom. But anyway, this is not about her. This podcast is not about her. I am going to be talking about how cancel culture is a lot worse towards women. And the main thing that kind of like made me realize this was actually from a school project. So we had to do like a case study on morality and we had to look for an issue. And then our issue was about cancel culture, and then obviously I put like a freaking feminist perspective on it, and I started to realize that women are way more likely to be canceled for a lot petty, very petty reasons compared to men. And let me elaborate. Okay, this isn't even just me. Before you go attack me and be like, that's not true. I'm not the first person to say this. You can literally look it up. Cancel culture worse on women. It's real. It's actually a thing that people bring up. So it's a thing. I'm not the only one who has observed it. And I think one of the things, like the story that I can think of at the top of my head right now is that girl. If you're Filipino, you probably already know her, but the one that goes like this. Oh, you can't even see me. But the caption of her video was like, my biggest flex is I don't, or like, my biggest flex is I've never been cheated on because inunahan ko na sila, which translates to my biggest flex is I've never been cheated on because I cheated on them first. And a lot of people like really ripped her apart. Like, not even just, it was on TikTok, and then it like surpassed TikTok. It was on Facebook, it was on Twitter, it was literally everywhere, and everybody was making fun of her. They were saying like a lot of like terrible things, and I understand that this girl, I found out that she's also a Marcus apologist, but that's not a topic right now. um but anyway, a lot of people were being like really ripping her apart, like being like, "Oh, we don't believe that. You're not pretty enough for you for that to actually happen, or you look like the stepsister of Cinderella." And I swear, every single time I would scroll on TikTok, it would be a stitch of somebody just making fun of her, or just like it would be just about her. Like, every 5 posts, it would be like a post about her. I don't know if you've noticed that, because that's the thing with trends. It rises, and then all of a sudden it just disappears at some point. But yeah, and I found it like kind of like problematic. Well, not really problematic. I'm not defending the person. Obviously, that's really shitty for you to just like cheat on people. That's not a flex. Cheating on people is really bad. It's the worst possible thing that you can possibly do to someone. But I mean, that's an exaggeration. But anyways, obviously, I don't condone that. Don't fucking cheat on people. That's terrible. I'm not defending her. If somebody who knows her, or if you're listening to this, I'm not defending you. This isn't me defending you at all. But I did want to point out that they really ripped her apart. And the thing is, I would see videos of men who would say the same things, like not the same things, but like something similar. Like I've seen like a TikTok of a guy who was like, "Oh, when you're like," of him like acting sad, and he was acting sad because, and the caption was like, when she doesn't let you cheat. Like, what the fuck was that? And I would scroll, like, trust me, I know it, because I literally made a YouTube video talking about misogynistic TikToks, or like sexist TikToks. And those were one of the videos that I actually saw, but it didn't make it to the video because that video was getting so long for me to watch. But yeah, I thought that it was a joke, but it wasn't. Like, they weren't saying it unironically. It was like they're literally being real. And then there would also be TikToks of guys going like, it would be like a joke na parang, the first part is they're there, like him and his friends are there, and then it says when you find out, like, after you fuck her or something, and then you get her pregnant, and then the next clip is like them completely gone from the frame, like they just, like, it means like they disappeared or something, like it means basically they just yeeted because she found out that because they found out that the girl that they fucked was pregnant. And I'm like, that's really problematic. Like, you can't just, like, I've seen so much problematic TikToks, especially by men, or like other guys who would go like, things I hate about girls, things that are a turn off for me, and it's literally like them wearing shorts. And I'm like, what? Like, that's your turn off? Like, why is it that she was getting, I don't know, she's getting so much hate. Like, it's so much more blown up. Or maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my algorithm, but the hatred towards this girl was so much worse. And the thing is, I was like, is it because like women are expected to be a loyal? You don't expect women to cheat, or if they do cheat, automatically they're you know they're a slut. Because like I feel like women are expected to be, like they're expected to be kind. The expectations for women is really high. You have to be beautiful, you have to be smart, you have to be kind, you have to be all that, but you have to also make sure that you don't overshadow men. And like the one time a girl says something problematic, which is the fact that she cheats on people, the one time that a girl does that, she gets completely ripped apart on the internet. But guys who literally make jokes about like not liking a girl after they have had sex, or leaving somebody if they get pregnant, or cheating on somebody, or um like there was also like this joke that was like, when you meet the family and it turns out her sister is hotter, or something like that. It's like so problematic. Like, why is it that guys don't get, you know, severely canceled and don't get severe hate for that? I mean, they probably do get hate, but, not to the point of like millions of people making memes about you and stitching your video and all that stuff. And I'd also like to share like the things that I researched for the case study that we already had. And this is from like an article. Like, it's not necessarily like a journal or anything, it's not something reliable, but it is just like a fucking blog post or something. I would like to ask, why does Charlie, like, this is more of international, like not Filipino, but like, why does Charlie D'Amelio, I don't know if I'm saying her last name correctly, like, why do people hate her? Cause like, I'm confused why people hate her. Like, they will like make fun of her because she got famous from TikTok. Like, literally everybody is trying to get famous from TikTok. Like, why is she getting shit for it? And it's not like she asked. I don't know. I don't know. If she's done something problematic, let me know. But so far, I'm not really updated with her. It's actually funny because I've never been recommended her videos on TikTok. My algorithm is just far away from her, but I don't know anything. I don't know much about her, but I would just like to know, like, is the only reason why people hate her is because she's a teenage girl who suddenly got famous for dancing? Like, she does, like, did she do anything wrong for her to get that much hate? Like, it's not like she didn't ask to be suddenly extremely famous, right? Like, I think I read an article about like why people canceled her, and I think the reason why people canceled her was because like she was pertaining to her fans as a bunch of numbers, something along those lines. And like, and there's like literally, men on TikTok out there. I'm not gonna say any names, mostly because I don't even remember what his name is. But I can link it down below. I think maybe if I can still look for it, I'll link it down below. But like, there are guys on TikTok with millions of followers, and they literally have sexual harassment cases. Like, how are you gonna get, like, if a woman is not gracious enough, or if a woman doesn't like fit that standard or whatever, like, they get absolutely canceled. Like, they not exactly canceled, but like they get a lot of backlash, like so much backlash. But like, people with like literal sexual harassment issues or racist issues, like, nothing, like literally nothing. And then they also made another comparison, I believe, about Clairo. She's an indie artist. I think she's the one who sang like "I Can Be Your Pretty Girl" or something like that. But anyway, she got canceled for some reason, and I think it was because she was rude to a fan. I'm not sure if it was rude to a fan or like people were or she was judged in a way that they were like telling people that she like fame got to her head or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know the full story. But like I just know that it's something fucking petty, like really really freaking petty. And I'm like people are canceling this young girl for this. But like they don't cancel Jimmy Fallon for doing blackface or they don't cancel literal people like literal sex offenders. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like the moment a girl is just not gracious or kind or humble, if she like has like this confidence in her or something. I don't know. Maybe it does leave a bad taste, but I don't think it's worth like the amount of hate. And I don't know. I also saw like a TikTok of like I think Charlie D'Amelio has a reality show and she was like crying and she was just like breaking down because she was getting so much terrible anxiety and being like oh like like people would judge her. Like she would just go out to buy coffee and then people would take pictures of her calling her crusty or something. Like that's really terrible. And I would understand if you would cancel somebody for doing something problematic. Okay, fine. You can criticize people if you think that they've done something that genuinely offends you, that you find genuinely like super offensive, or it contributes to a systemic sort of oppression. By all means, go ahead, but make sure that you are setting like males, your men, the men that you idolize to the same standard, because I feel like a lot of people don't set guys up to the same standard. And there's also like this issue. This one is very recent. Na TikTok. It's a Filipino one, and it says it was like a teacher, a dude teacher, who was saying something like, it was a TikTok of him dancing, and it said something like, when you see, I'm gonna translate it, but like, okay, I'm gonna say it in Tagalog first. In Tagalog, it's like, yung may cute kang estudyante or tapos tamang pa-cute lang sa cute mong estudyante or something like that, which means in English is like I'm gonna act cute in front of my student because she's cute, something like that, which literally is the most disgusting thing ever. That's literally disgusting. Like you're literally preying on your students. It's gross. And it's all over Facebook as well. I've been spending a lot of time on Facebook because I deleted Instagram and Twitter, but I spend a lot of time on Facebook, and there's like so much comments, and I was like trying so freaking hard not to reply to the comments because the comments really just pissed me off. And there were girls, like students even, that were like, "Oh, okay, then why are girls allowed to say something like, if this was my teacher, I'll never be late to class," or like basically just having a crush on a teacher. First of all, in my opinion, of course that's wrong. I'm not defending those people who would like, sexualize their teachers. Obviously, that's not okay. But and the Facebook post was like saying that the Department of Education would investigate the teacher because obviously that's predatory behavior, okay? You wouldn't want somebody who thinks like a predator to start teaching people. Like, papayag ka ba yung anak mo, like yung papayag ka ba teacher, utak maniac? Like, hello, like, why would you, so frustrating. But, okay, anyway, back to the topic where they were like, oh, why don't you investigate girls who do that? And like, okay, I understand that that's wrong. I don't condone like, sexualizing your teachers, but we have to realize that there is a power imbalance between teacher and student, and the teacher will always be more powerful than the student. The teacher is the one who gives grades. The teacher is the one who's going to determine whether or not you're going to pass, you're going to graduate. And teachers are very much able to take advantage of that if they wanted to. I mean, it's not legal, but if they did, if they wanted to. And especially since who knows how old the students of this teacher is. Is it a minor? Because, like, if it's a minor, then that's literally pedophilia, my love. Like, what are we defending here? We're defending possible pedophilia. And a lot of people would argue, like, there's not even any proof, there's not even proof. It's just a joke. Like, like, just because he joked about it doesn't mean that he already did something bad. And I'm like, and I just want to say that it's jokes like that condone this behavior. It starts with the jokes. If you I always go back to this, but if you look at the rape culture triangle, anytime you want to talk about harassment or anything, look at the freaking rape culture pyramid. Not triangle. Did I say triangle? I meant pyramid. And the bottom part will always be locker room talk, jokes, sexual jokes, or catcalling. So you can say things like, catcalling, you don't even do anything. You don't touch a person. You just speak to them. That's verbal harassment. And locker room talk, aka yung mga usapan ng mga lalaki na parang, I'm gonna fuck this bitch. Or, like, I don't know, like something freaking cringy and disgusting that people tend to normalize. That contributes to it. So that is basically the foundation. Pyramid. Picture a pyramid, my loves. And at the bottom of the pyramid, that is the foundation. That is where it starts. That's where rape culture starts. At the topmost part of the pyramid is rape. Actual sexual intercourse, but like this entire, like the pyramid itself, rape culture, it doesn't have to be physical. Nothing physical has to happen for it to be harassment. You don't wait for there to be harassment, for there to be physical touch, for you to be concerned about the safety of this guy's students. That's your students. Those are like literally the future of the world, my babes. Like, I would give it credit that a lot of people were like making fun of this guy. This guy is so stupid. Why would you say that? And, it's really disgusting. A lot of people would call him out. But how there are still so much people in the comments that are defending this guy. And it's so frustrating. You would never see somebody defending the girl who was like, I cheat on guys. Like, I mean, not saying that that's good, but like, you would just never see somebody defending a woman. You would always see defending a man, and they would say things like, oh, you're gonna ruin a teacher's life based on speculation, based just because he made a joke? Like, you're gonna ruin his life? And like, honey, what about the potential life he could ruin if he actually, traumatized his students? That's also ruining lives. That's ruining even more lives. It's so freaking frustrating. And it's things like this that's like, it's because you expect it from men. You expect it from, okay, I'm gonna go back to the fucking men are trash shit again. And I know I'm gonna get so much fucking hate for it, but I don't, you know what? Whatever. I just want to say that whether or not you agree to the whole men are trash statement, you have to at least agree that men are expected to be trash. Not expected as in like you want them to be trash, but it tends to be excused more. If a man cheats, it's because he's a man, That's what men do. They abuse you, they harass you, they do this and that. Men cheat. Husbands cheat, married men cheat all the time. That's something, like men's sins are a lot more forgivable. So if a man gets a girl pregnant, they're like, kasi lalaki yan eh. Because he's a guy. It's normal. It's normal for guys to have sexual desires. But if a girl gets pregnant, if you're talking about a girl, it's like, you ruined your life. Why would you do that? You should have, like, oh my god, I don't know if you guys experienced this, but every time there's like a anything that's, related to sex in class, they would say that, girls, it's always up to you, okay? It's up to you. It's your responsibility if you want to say no. Like, they would teach abstinence and be like, it's up to you. Guys will do what they want, but it's up to you to hold them back. Like, you really just expect them to just keep wanting, I don't know, you just expect them to be extremely sexual. You expect them to have these desires, but the moment a woman has it, it's bad. You know, like it's like the expectations for women is so high. And because the expectation for women is so high, the tolerance for women is also so low. You can't even be ugly. If you thought I was ugly, I don't think you'd be watching my channel. Like we still have content creators, and we have you know, men who are content creators or men who are famous that are not necessarily, you know, super attractive, conventionally attractive. That's because you don't expect men to be extremely pretty or like extremely, you know, beautiful and conventionally attractive. That's not something that they're always pressured to do. But God forbid a woman puts on makeup. And, you know, it's like such a double edged sword. Like, if you wear too much makeup, you're ugly. If you don't even wear any makeup, like, why do you look like that? Why do you look tired? Like, come on. Women are so pressured to be beautiful. A manifestation of how women are pressured to be beautiful is because, you know, there's pageants. Like, did you see that freaking? Oh my god! I'm gonna talk about the freaking video. Okay, the Miss Philippines, I think Miss Universe Philippines, where Harry Roque, that that guy, I think I tweeted about him saying that he looks like the personification of Libag. And he's literally judging a pageant, and like these people from Miss Universe, like people who join pageants, they have to be beautiful, they have to be sexy, they have to be smart, they have to be quick-witted, they have to have the confidence, they have to have the talent, they have to have the stability in order to be watched by the entire world. Everybody judging their bodies, everybody waiting for their answers. They have to have advocacies. They have to have a good background about who they are. Because, like, what the fuck are the hosts gonna say while you're walking? You can't be like, oh, Miss blah 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 hasn't achieved much, but she just wanted to join. Like, you still already have to have achievements when you join pageants, right? So it's such a clear manifestation of how high the standards are for women. And then, oh my god, I was so frustrated because there was like a question where he says, do you think that a female president or like a woman president or somebody like a woman should still, you know, should still be a president if she still has younger children? And I think I was just like, why are we still asking women that question? Like, why are we still asking women if being, you know, if like, you would never ask a man that. You would never ask a man like, is be does having a family make you, what do you call this? Does having a family hinder you from doing your job well? You've never asked a man that. And like, why would you ask a question? I think that was also, oh yeah, never mind. Okay, so why would you ask a question about a girl, about a woman, asking like, should a woman still lead if she has kids? Do you realize that the current president of the Philippines has kids? A lot of other candidates for presidency also has kids. Why is being a woman such an exception? It's because women are expected to be mothers, they're expected to be family people, and men are just expected to like not contribute to the you know, core of the family aside from like money. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, why is that a question? I've already diverted to the topic, but I feel like a lot of people aren't gonna relate to this if they're not Filipino, but I apologize for that. But anyways, this podcast is already long enough, and I'm also kind of hungry, so I'm gonna go now. I'm already done. I'm done ranting. Basically, can you do me a favor? And if you're gonna cancel a girl, make sure you also cancel a boy for the same reasons. Because if you're gonna cancel, I feel like women are just so easily targets of cancel culture. I feel like if I do one slip, if I do one wrong thing, I'm done. I'm done for sure. And if I would say something that's like remotely offensive, here's the thing. Okay, Never mind. I'm not done. um, I feel like being a quote unquote content creator, you're either pretty or you're funny, and most of the time, people have trouble. Not really, people kind of have trouble liking people who are pretty and funny at the same time. So I think that if you're a content creator, the first thing, like if I tell a random stranger, like, oh, what do you do for a living? And I say, I do YouTube. They're gonna be like, oh, you do fashion videos, you do this and that. They're like, it's automatically, the first thing that pops into their mind is I do beauty videos, I do fashion videos. That's automatically what pops into their mind. They never think about women as funny. They never think about women as people who have like, like thoughts or things that, like comprehensive ideas and concepts and things that they would like to discuss. That's not what they think. That's not what they think. Like if I tell a friend, they're like, "Hey, I do YouTube," and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you do fashion videos, you do makeup." Like that's not what that's not the first thing that pops into their mind. But here's the thing: if I said a problematic joke, for example, I say something problematic, right? If I say something sexual, or if I swear, if I say pag nag-bad words ako, I'm gonna get people pissed. Like they're gonna be like, "Oh, kababaeng tao, they're swearing. Like that's so unladylike." And the thing is, there are guys who would say the same joke and sometimes say jokes that are like problematic or way out of taste, and people would just laugh. People would shrug it off and laugh. There is no space, or like there is very little space for women in comedy or for women to be funny. People would say that women are not funny. Women are not funny because they're not funny. Women are not funny because you don't give them actual chances to be funny. Because misogyny will always come first before you actually, like, the moment you see a woman, there's always going to be internalized misogyny in there. I'm sorry, even if you're a fucking feminist. Like, I'm also a feminist. I'm also aware that sometimes my tolerance for other women, like, even if it's just in the back of your mind, like, we all have our own misogynistic tendencies. And that is something that we obviously need to work for. But it's just so frustrating. Like, you would get canceled for, like, a woman would get canceled for something stupid. And then if a guy did the exact same thing, they wouldn't bat an eye, which is frustrating. Anyways, I'm for real actually done now. I'm actually super hungry. That's it. I'm finally done. Goodbye, everybody. Please subscribe. Oh wait, please subscribe to my podcast and my channel if you're on YouTube. Go follow my Spotify. I don't know what to do with your Spotify, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening, and I'll see you on the next podcast. And yeah, I don't know how to do outros. Outro. The wonderful, beautiful